Oh, it is Friday in the middle of July. Can you believe this, man? 96 episodes of What's Up, Flobo, and we're going to keep rolling. Still trying to figure out what episode 100, what's that going to be. So if you can help me out and let me know in the comments below, what do you think episode 100 should be about? That's cool. But today, we're hanging, we're chilling, we're having a grand old time. This is where I tell you, do me a favor and check out nonamenerd.com. Nonamenerd.com is what you need to get geared up for the nerd season. We're talking about like nerd face masks, even nerding games. So yeah, if you have a chance, hit it up at nonamenerd.com. Use my promo code FLOBITO. That's FLOBITO for a discount. Nonamenerd.com. Do it! Cool, man. It's Friday. I'm enjoying the day so far. I've not had my coffee, and I'll tell you why that is in a minute. It's about 11 a.m. Pacific time. By now, I'm usually on my third cup. But I did get up and went for my run, trying to slim down a bit because, what happens is like birthday season came, and then I was like, oh, yeah, it's a birthday. I'm going to have some cake, and I'm going to have a couple burgers, and I'm going to have some fried chicken. And then next thing you know, you're like in the mirror going, oh, no, why? So this week has been like a conscious effort to reverse that. And it's kind of funny because I went to the store and I was like, I've been here before. This is the I'm buying everything healthy grocery trip run. The one that you regret 3 days later when you're like scouring your cupboards for popcorn, I did it. So hopefully it started something else. I just want to talk to you, man. I know about this time last week we chatted about the closing of AfterBuzz TV and granted, as it goes on to be less AfterBuzz-centric content here on this channel, because frankly, they be closed or whatnot. It's been hard for a lot of hosts and stuff, but what I've seen in reviews that a lot of hosts are just fine with it, man. They're really cool with the new chapter, what that kind of uncertainty brings. Of how do I get the next job, or how do I start my first channel, that sort of thing. And it's been really cool to see how every host that I know personally is handling that problem. As I mentioned on Monday, we had a little bit of a reunion over at the Jack Farmer channel. All the wrestling hosts from that network got together. It was like 20 of us that just got on call and talked and shared war stories, and that was pretty fun. And it was kind of like, what happens next? It's technically a hiatus at AfterBuzz, but I know I'm done. Like, what am I going to do? But what I've seen, and it's the reason I want to bring this up, not to brag or toot my own horn, but I want to tell you how I'm feeling about this. There's that so many hosts that I've known personally, I've come to consider family, are starting their own channels and pages. I don't want to say that it's a revolution. That sounds a lot bigger than what it is, but it is a very cool thing to see, a cool trend to see. A lot of hosts is taking everything into their own hands. People I work with, like Jack Farmer and I, we had that show, Wrestling With Your Questions. It was one show on the Flopito channel, this channel right here. Subscribe if you haven't. Click that bell to know when shows are coming. But to see him start his own Jack Farmer page on YouTube and host that reunion and move Wrestling With Your Questions and launch a spinoff show this week called Wrestling With Wrestling is so much fun, by the way. It's like we split it up. Wrestling With Wrestling is about a recap of what's going on in the news in wrestling, whereas Wrestling With Your Questions is kind of like a mailbag show. So that's cool. He has more stuff coming. Leslie Colon, another host that I work with in the Raw After Show, she launched her channel this week, also on YouTube, called Cafe con Leslie. And she's a barista, but she's also a host, and was a guest on my podcast, New Amsterdam Radio, and she has this what's cool about Leslie is she's so personable, but she has this team, right? People are out there in droves, an engaged fan base, right? There's people are like, oh man, we love Leslie. So the cool is she bit the bullet, launched her page, and is growing on. And just today, some other hosts hit me up. I don't want to ruin it if it's still a testing phase, and said, hey, I'm thinking about running a show. What about, do you want to get on? And I'm like, just to help out. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I think it's interesting for a lot of budgets, for three big reasons. One, we're not saying that this is the end. And that's the most important thing. Content never stops. The appetite for content never stops. And we don't know who's listening. A lot of times I feel like I'm talking to myself, quite literally, and that's fine. But who knows? Who knows if I wake up tomorrow and have 100,000, 10,000, a million views in a video. So give everyone the whole show. Two, that we are calling each other up. Hey, I got this cool idea for a show. Do you want to test it out with me? Hey, I have a podcast. You want to be my guest? I want to pick your brain about your background, and that's kind of fascinating too. And three, it's almost like a community within a community. The fact that we all went to the same finishing school and we're all out here. I can tell people to go check out Cafe con Leslie. I can tell people to check out Jack Farmer channel and with no problems, no qualms. It isn't like, oh, I know everyone only has about 2 hours a day of YouTube viewing. I want them to be all me, Flopito. Stay here, subscribe. It's like, no, check them all out, man. It's all good, baby. And that to me, it's like it brings the warm and fuzzy things, and to be able to be a friend and to help out with like ideas or just being a person to pitch to or say, hey, look, I have a suggestion for something you can work on. It's just been fulfilling for me personally on the creative side to work with other people as they launch their channels as well. Now, I don't want you to think I'm kicking back here and sipping mojitos. More and more and bigger things are coming down the pipe on this channel. What's up, Flobo? After Hours, the longer show, the one that runs about 30 minutes or so. That's Monday nights, and that's basically going to be the Raw replacement, the Monday Raw after show replacement as far as what I'm doing on Monday. You can hear my takes on what's going on in the world, perspectives, and if you have more of a question about that, like what's my thoughts on X, what's my thoughts on Y, hit me up on What's Up Flobo After Hours on Mondays and What's Up Flobo Classic Wednesday and Fridays. Sitting here chilling, rapping, talking about the good game and the world and everything around us as far as like what I'm working on and how I'm pushing things forward, and almost like a State of the Union address if we were a union. Not to mention the podcast, Do Amsterdam Radio, and the Patreon. Patreon.com/Flobo Boys. Bonus content is there. So I am covered as far as things that I'm working on, but if you guys have a moment, if you guys can have a chance to spare, just search Jack Farmer on YouTube. It has JF as a logo and a black circle, or Cafe con Leslie. Also on YouTube, like those channels, subscribe to those channels, be their friends. Be like, yo, man, Flopito sent me here. I would definitely appreciate that because, rising tides and all of that jazz. Until next time, it's your boy Flopito. I'm on social media. Yo, follow me at Flobo Boys on Twitter and on Instagram, at Flopito on Instagram, and Flopito.com. Yo, as always, man, peace out.